Look, let me tell you something about your bad luck. Close your eyes for a second. You know that moment I'm talking about, when everything just starts falling apart? It starts small, right? Maybe your alarm doesn't go off. You spill coffee all over your favorite shirt. No big deal. But then, and you know this is coming, it snowballs. Your car won't start. That deal you've been counting on falls through. And then, like clockwork, you get that rejection email at 5 p.m. on a Friday. Because of course you do. And there you are, staring up at the ceiling or maybe out at the sky, and you hear yourself whisper it. Why is this happening to me? Suddenly it feels like there's this target painted on your back, doesn't it? Like the universe itself has written your name down in some cosmic hit list. You start thinking maybe there's this invisible conspiracy working against you, designed specifically to mess up your life and break you down piece by piece. So you call it bad luck. And honestly, that feels good. It's the most comforting story you could tell yourself because it means you're just along for the ride, a passenger in a car being driven by some cruel invisible force. But here's the thing, I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to shake you awake. Look, I need you to hear this. That story about your bad luck, it's a lie. A seductive, convenient, absolutely paralyzing lie. When you label all the chaos in your life as luck, you know what you're actually doing? You're giving away your power. You're handing the pen that writes your story to a ghost, to something that doesn't even exist. Here's the uncomfortable truth, and trust me, it's uncomfortable, but it's the only thing that'll actually set you free. The universe isn't out to get you. It's just responding to you. What you're calling a curse? That's just the sound of your expectations crashing into reality. And if we're brave enough to stop complaining for just 1 minute, we might see that this bad luck isn't a cage at all. It's actually a key. We've just been too blind to use it. You know what's really strange? There's this weird comfort in believing the world is against you. It wraps around your ego like a heavy blanket, protecting you from the cold, harsh truth of responsibility. When we blame everything on bad luck, we're basically giving ourselves a free pass. It's like emotional morphine for your soul. You get to skip the painful part where you actually look at yourself. Think about it. You lose your job and immediately blame the terrible boss, the economy, bad timing, whatever. And boom, you're off the hook. You don't have to examine your work ethic. You don't have to face the fact that maybe you didn't adapt, maybe you weren't prepared. Your self-image stays perfectly intact. You were just an innocent bystander, right? But here's what you're not seeing. The price you pay for that emotional safety is everything. You're trading your power to change things for the comfort of not feeling responsible. Listen to me, you cannot fix what you refuse to own. If the root of all your problems is always out there, in the government, the weather, your boss, the alignment of the stars, then the solution is out there too, which means it's forever out of your reach. You become a spectator in your own life, sitting in some dusty waiting room, waiting for a rescue that's never coming. You end up competing with your friends over who has it worse, bonding over shared misery, never realizing you built the very wall you keep banging your head against. You've handed the keys of your life to this phantom driver called luck, and then you wonder why the car keeps driving into the ditch. And here's where it gets really wild. This mindset doesn't just kill your ambition, it literally hijacks your biology. Most people think the law of attraction is some woo-woo nonsense, but honestly, it's actually based on real science. There's this thing in your brain called the Reticular Activating System. Basically, it's the bouncer at the door of your mind. Your brain gets millions of bits of information every second. Sights, sounds, opportunities, dangers, everything. If you paid attention to all of it, your brain would just explode. So this bouncer decides what gets through, and here's the kicker. You give the bouncer his instructions based on what you obsess over. So if you wake up convinced you're unlucky, that today's going to suck, you just told your mental bouncer to go find evidence of disaster. You'll walk past 10 people smiling at you to fixate on the one person frowning. You'll ignore 5 green lights to rage about 1 red light. You'll miss the help wanted sign in the window because you're too busy staring at the cracks in the sidewalk. You're literally creating the exact reality you're afraid of, because that's the only data you're letting yourself see. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You become a heat-seeking missile for negativity, tuning your brain to the frequency of misery, completely blind to all the good stuff, the opportunities, the abundance that's sitting right there next to the struggle. You're so busy crying over the locked door and the lost key that you don't even notice the window next to it is wide open. You know what's really arrogant? The way we immediately label every unexpected thing as a tragedy. Because to do that, you're assuming you know exactly how the story ends, when you're only on page 3 of a 1,000-page book. We never see the opportunity buried in the heartbreak, the financial disaster, the brutal rejection. We want the good stuff without the fertilizer, but life doesn't work like that. The benefit isn't free. It's hidden inside a hard, ugly shell that you have to crack open with sheer persistence and a stubborn refusal to give up. When you lose that job or that relationship ends, your first reaction is bad luck, right? Because you're focused entirely on the loss, the security you had, the hit to your ego. But you're completely missing the fact that this disruption, this thing you're calling a disaster, might be exactly the shove you needed to finally chase that thing you were too scared to try while you were comfortable. The universe often uses what we call misfortune to course correct us. It's like those rumble strips on the highway. They wake you up before you crash into a life that's way too small for your potential. If you spend all your energy mourning how you thought things should go, you'll be too exhausted to see the new path that just opened up right in front of you. You leave the seed in the ground to rot because you're too busy crying over the dirt, not realizing the dirt is exactly what you need to grow. Okay, here's what it all comes down to: the difference between your conditions and your core. We're obsessed with conditions. We're constantly checking the weather, worrying about traffic, complaining about potholes. We completely forget that the most important thing isn't the road, it's the driver. Circumstances? That's just the stage. Your character is the actual performance. And way too many of you are waiting for perfect set design before you're willing to act. You're waiting for the economy to improve, for your boss to be nicer, for your spouse to be more understanding. You think once the external world lines up with your preferences, then you'll be happy and successful. That's a sucker's bet. The world owes you nothing. Chaos is the only guarantee. If you build your stability on circumstances, which are always shifting, you'll collapse the moment the wind blows. But if you build it on character, the storm doesn't destroy you, it defines you. Real character isn't forged when things are easy, when the bills are paid and everyone's giving you high fives. Anyone can smile when they're winning. No, character is what shows up when the bottom falls out, when the loan gets denied, when the diagnosis comes back positive. When you're standing in the wreckage of all your plans with nothing but your own will keeping you upright. People with real character don't ask for lighter burdens. They ask for broader shoulders. They don't pray for the rain to stop. They learn to swim. This shift moves you from being a thermometer that just reflects whatever temperature the room is at to being a thermostat that actually sets the temperature. Because here's the truth. You have zero control over what happens to you. But you have absolute, complete, dictatorial authority over how you respond.